All right, everybody. We are finally here. Oh, I'm here with my partner in crime, Mr. Michael Williams. How you doing today, Mike?
Good now that you got shit working,
Always
right?
me. Always blame the hippie.
We should have recorded early. You guys were missing all the fun in the pre-show, but I think we're in for a funny ass show. Oh, what's going on over here? Something's wrong. Only kidding. Everything's good, hippie. You got it. Just messing with you. Innocent shit. Everything's good. But anyways, thanks for joining us in the chat room on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And we are here with the guys from Ezra Zion. They're back again in the house for what I believe is their fourth appearance on the Stogie411 show. And today we're smoking. I ain't telling you what we're smoking. How's that? We'll let the guys tell you what we're smoking. And no, I'm only kidding. We're going to smoke the new Ezra Zion Tantrum PA, and I'm finishing up the FHK. Ask your questions. We'll get to them, and let's kick this bitch off, Mike. So, gentlemen, how's it going?
You're talking to us?
Well, I ain't talking to
Kick it off, and I'm here trying to light a cigar. I'm like, what the hell?
we got all excited. We thought you could multitask because you had two things in your hand earlier and had one hand free. I figured you could do something else with that other hand, which I know you're good at doing. But, anyways, gentlemen, how's it going?
It's going well. You know what my goal in the entire show is every time I see Mike set that microphone down, I'm going to ask him a question so he has to immediately pick that bitch back up.
We do it all the time. He doesn't realize that we're doing it on purpose to bust his ass. But
doing good, guys. Doing good, guys. Thank you so much for having us back on.
Oh, absolutely. Pleasure's all ours. It's always fun. It's good to have some entertaining, exciting guests. You know, not that we don't appreciate all our guests, but it sure to hell makes my job a lot easier when people are excited and happy to see us because we normally don't get that in our life.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that. But one thing we could kick off, why don't you tell everybody where you guys are? I know you got two separate events going on, I believe, tonight, right? So tell everybody where you are just in case they're listening in that area. They can get over there and check you guys out.
Outstanding. Well, I am currently in the D.C. area, and I am going to be working my way up north along the coast. Draper's in Bethesda, Draper's in D.C. So if you're in and around the D.C. area, just come on down. I mean, we're hitting them all. No formal events, just more of a, reconnecting with our retailers over here and, introducing some of the new blends to some of the local clientele. And just like everybody in the biz knows, man, you got to hit the road. You got to be on the road, got to be mobile.
Nice.
Gotta go make it do what it do.
That's right.
That's what Chris does. He makes it do what it do. I am in Lynchburg, Virginia at City Place Cigar. This is an epic place, dude. Epic.
It's like he's being all, hey,
epic
here. Come here and join.
Dude, I'll show you.
Let it out, man. Let him hear you where you are.
Look it. Well, I don't want to interrupt people, but I mean, dude, seriously. This
place, first of all, get his permission slip that it's okay to be live.
You're over there getting everybody all in trouble.
The last thing I need is Barack Obama on my ass asking why I didn't do this and this and this.
That's a nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so
that is a nice place.
Legit.
Yeah, it's a great lounge. I didn't know if you were going to be in that lounge or the new lounge downtown, bro.
Well, I'll tell you what. We had an event last night that was at a super secret squirrel club, and there were many top industry people there, and it was very legit. But I didn't get in bed till like 4, and I got up and I just was like, you know what, I can do this show outside. And then I started doing math, which took me a while, and I was like, wait a second, I can travel to Lynchburg. Yeah, because I can't handle two things at one time, like Mike. So anyways, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go drive up to Cigar Home, the Cigar Church, and so I did, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, wasn't Jonathan Drew there? Don't you have that picture? Jonathan Drew was there last night, I believe, right? You got that picture of him.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, show that picture, everybody. Look, Jonathan Drew was at the event last night supporting. See him? There he is, brother.
They were like
right. That's right.
Yeah. I for everybody out there, I text Chris this picture the other day, and I just said, hey, I dressed up like Jonathan Drew for Halloween. So that's I make it do what it do.
That's right.
It do. Mike, would you light up, Mike? The FHK? I knew you wouldn't light up the tantrum, you Sally.
Hey, hey,
Ooh.
hey.
Them are fighting words.
No, he's right.
I think Mike's like broadcasting live from Germany or something. He's got the German flag like flying behind him there.
You're a little late for Oktoberfest, my friend.
Yeah, and we're in the November. You need to start throwing some Yardbird.
Well, fortunately, he's doing the No Shave November. I appreciate you doing that.
No problem. You're very welcome. I try my best.
See, but you know what, bro? This is what Mike has that nobody else has. Dude, bro, check it out, man. You can totally do, instead of a comb over, you could do a beard over, bro. You could just bring that shite around.
Problem solved.
You could just bring it around. Just bring that beard over. Ow!
Hey, you know what? Still counts.
Dude, you just look like my dead mom just then. That was a bad vision I just had. Really, don't do that again, please.
Oh shit. You can
we gotta get anything accomplished today on the show.
Freaking chops, man.
Dude, we're accomplishing something. We're making memories, okay? These are stories you can tell your children, your grandchildren.
No, see, this is the problem. What happens?
I'm hoping they're not watching right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. You come out to DC, right? And I know we'll probably get into this. You know why originally Kyle and I came out to DC was to attack the Hill, right? Spread the word, spread the love, FDA, all that kind of good stuff, right? Meet with our representatives and whatnot. But dude, you got to be like you just got to be like so reserved, man. Like walking these halls and everything else. And then you're sitting down and you're trying to explain and, and they're trying to tell you what protocol is and what this is and what level of person you talk to and everything else. And dude, I tell you what, it makes you really want to just get out of this town, bro. Because when they put all this, pomp and circumstance and everything that you got to like fit into and everything else, you just got to friggin' get out and just blow some steam off. So there's going to be some steam blowing off. And I don't mean that kind of blow, Mike, so you can set that microphone down. So,
Mike, bite it again.
I'm going home. What the hell is this?
I'm sorry. Man, I've been ball pitting.
Yeah, but mine was in good fun. As a friend.
They were both funny.
But from one friend to another.
Yeah, that was a friendly one.
Hey, are we live yet, y'all? Are we?
Oh, we were live about an hour ago. We just have we've been live quite a while. Ladies love the beard, old school wife says. She said, ladies love the beard.
I'll just say, I said a million times, she wants the bee.
That's right. Excellent.
All right. Let's talk something about cigars. How about we do that? Let's start off. We'll start off with the one. Actually, I'm still smoking, and Mike just started smoking. So let's talk about the FHK in the house.
Yes, sir. Look at that. Man. That's just all kinds of goodness.
Dude, that was good to give all that information. Yeah. The KHF. Nobody don't know the difference.
There you go.
Oh, my.
The cough? The cough?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, you know what that is, right?
Shut up.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Dude, you know what you can do, though? If you get ticked off enough, you could just microphone drop and walk out.
And walk out.
Us do it. We can't
do
it.
What? We'd be producing the show right now, so it'd be over. It'd be done.
I can knock anybody off I want to.
There you go.
You don't. So what's going on, man? You liking that smoke or what? I would like to take credit for the paperwork that came with it, but y'all know that I'm a simple-minded Marine, so that's all my partner Kyle. He's like, oh man, you gotta send him some deets when you're sending out these samples, man. Gotta give him the deets.
It's good that you give the detail. It really, a lot of people. I gotta say, a lot of people are shy about giving out the details, and I understand why. But you know what? It's important to know because when people are smoking it, I know when I smoke a cigar, I'm always trying to figure out what's in it, what you guys do. And it may not be that way for everybody, but for me personally, especially at running a show like this with Mike, I want to know the details because if it's something I like, I'm like, man, maybe I can if I smoke that again, I'll know. Maybe so now I like a Nicaraguan with this much in it and this much in it. So it's good to know. But I know why other people don't want to give it out. I get it. It's okay. We're cool with it. But when you do get it, it's appreciative. So we do appreciate it. But go ahead. Tell us a little bit about the blend. And I'm going to actually start lighting up this tantrum because I'm just about done here.
Yeah, right on.
Get on with it, Kyle. Get on with it.
I'm gonna talk about it all kinds.
He's gonna get all kinds. It's so good. You'll just sit there and you'll smoke that cigar and go
dirty.
That's what good.
I do love the San Andres wrapper though. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
So
no my face.
with that particular cigar, we wanted to do something that was going to be different than the stuff we.
Hey, could you keep the noise down back there? We're trying to do a show. No, slap the snot out of whoever that is talking. Go ahead, man. Sorry. Hey, you. With the head. Zip it. Go ahead. I got it.
I got it.
He's like, hey, calm the F down. I got this. So we wanted to do something different, a little bit outside the box of traditional Ezra blend, which I mean, you guys know, for those who know us, very Nicaraguan. Puro, that's where we are. Our whole love is in the Nicaraguan tobacco. So this one is a departure from that. It's our highest rated cigar. It's a 95 rated cigar. We got that from Blind Man's Puff, which was extremely cool. But when we were actually blending it, and I'll just run through the blend real quick so people who don't know can know. It's got a San Andreas wrapper, an Indonesian binder, and a Brazilian Montefina Nicaraguan filler. And the blend came out essentially, and it's been quoted, I guess, or described as like brown ale, as a very much of a beer reminiscent kind of flavor to it. Through the nose, there's kind of some white pepper. People say it's kind of hoppy, malty. So it's pretty cool. Good freaking smoke.
It's a damn fine smoke, man.
Just don't be scared, okay? That's the main thing. Rule number one is don't be scared of the FHK.
That's right.
No,
it's good. I just started, but it's a good cigar. It's right up my alley so far.
Yeah, one thing that you will notice about the FHK versus the lion's share of what folks have come to know from us is it's super smooth through the nose. I love me some Corojo. I love me some pepper spice. I love that tingle through the nose. But like Kyle described it very well with that malty craft beer, and it's so smooth, so rich to the nose, man. It's and it was our first endeavor beyond the all Nicaraguan tobacco, So with the exception of the wrapper, obviously.
I tell you right now, I just lit up the tantrum, right? If you took the bands off of this and you sent this to me, I would know right away it was your cigar.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that's very traditional, very classic Ezra, right? I mean,
absolutely. Right away, I would know that this was your cigar.
Yep. FHK, if we'd have done the same to you and just sent it to you blind, I guarantee you wouldn't have pegged us. Wouldn't.
Man, go ahead. I'm going to tell you later.
Uh-oh.
Oh
crap! Let's see.
I did a V cut.
Oh man,
on the FHK, but it was still a little bit of a tight draw for me, so I just snipped it off and just opened right up. So I don't know. Maybe this isn't a good one.
Nice.
Sometimes you got to nip the tip.
Yeah.
Instead of biting it. See.
Are you serious? You bite the cap off, bro? You got to dag.
Look at the microphone. Put that microphone up to the camera. Look at the microphone,
dude. Look at that thing. It's all dented.
It wasn't like a little nibble. He was like,
that's no, like see, freaking got microphone from Jurassic Park or something.
What y'all don't understand is if you're doing an interview with Mike and shit gets a little sideways, dude, he just starts beating the crap out of you with that freaking thing. Leave some dents in it. It's got some marks on it, some hash marks.
Answer that question right, damn it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, really good. I got it.
That should be a better side for you now. Now you don't see the squish marks in it.
That's his pretty side. Thank you very much for that, bro. I appreciate that. Showing your pretty side.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. Now, if you can do the pretty side and then do the beard over, like we were discussing earlier, dude, you'd be all kinds.
Yeah. I just don't see it. I don't know. I just it'll fit.
That would be freaking hilarious,
over,
dude.
But,
if you could get like some really like legit pomade and just glue that thing down and then like make a mustache over. Dude, you gotta freaking put that on social, dude. Say Ezra's doing a private blend for Stogie411 called the Ezra Zion Beard Over, and just be like, oh, it'll be awesome, man.
Oh, nice.
And the first question, when's it going to be released?
Yeah. So when's it coming out? I'm not going to set a date because then if it doesn't get here on the stinking ship from Nicaragua, everyone's like, you guys suck at making cigars.
Yeah. Now, the real question would be like, what the hell did you team up with those two idiots at Stogie411 for?
I was just saying, are they asking you that? Or are they asking?
No, they'd be asking. No, trust me. No, they'd be asking you guys why you teamed up with us. Trust me. Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
All right. Well, let's hit the tantrum up now. The new tantrum.
Oh, dude. I just want to know. I mean, I want to know the difference between this and the other.
That and what?
The difference in what?
The difference between the two cigars.
Oh, between the two tantrums.
Hey,
That's a completely different blend, dude.
Yeah. It's completely different blend. I mean, like you were saying, bro, you know, you got a hold of that tantrum passive aggressive. You know, it's very Ezra Zion. It's very, you know, you have that nice pepper spice through the nose. You know, you have that Corojo wrapper. You got some of that all kinds of goodness, Tabsa, Aganorsa.
There's a different filler in the first third.
Oh no, yeah. No, and I'll let Kyle explain the reasons why the passive aggressive, but yeah, it's a completely different blend, bro. Yeah. I mean the tantrum from 2013, you know, that cigar, one size, limited run, you know, 1,200 boxes. I mean that's done. It's gone. I mean, if y'all find it out there in your local tobacconist, then scarf them up. You know what we're doing with the there's a handful of boxes left in our warehouse. And what we've been doing is in a shop like Kyle's in right now, City Place, you know, they were one of our original lounges. And so what we did was we offered them first crack at that Tantrum limited edition in 2013. And we offered a small number of shops that product. And then those shops that came on with us at the beginning will be able to continue to purchase that until it's gone. So there's a very limited amount of shops that actually have that original Tantrum, but it's a completely different blend.
Yeah, but again, like I said, you could tell it's Ezra. Mm-hmm. Your palate is clean. I say this every time you guys are on.
Oh.
And it's the same thing right away. Now, I'm not saying my palate wasn't clean with the FHK. It wasn't as clean as it is smoking this Tantrum as it is when I've smoked your other blends.
Right.
That's how whenever I smoke your cigars, and I know it's your cigar, that's the consistency that I find in your cigars. Clean palate all the way through, no matter what.
See, I freaking dig that because we blend for finish. That's the memory that sticks with you. You know, you take the smoke in your mouth and you retro if you smoke proper. But that smoke, you have it for a couple seconds. But that finish, I mean, if you get really good tobacco and a really balanced blend, I mean, you'll be tasting that finish for long after you're done with the cigar. You know, it really matters. So that's the memory you take with you from smoking it. So we always look to the finish on the blend. It's pretty legit. So I appreciate you saying that, man. That's the target we're aiming for.
Yeah, you definitely. I'll tell you right. The FHK, you would have thrown me off. I would have never thought it was your blend.
Yeah.
Definitely, you could tell it's definitely something different that you've tried, and you know, and I've smoked every cigar so much that you've put out. I've had every one so far, and for the one thing is consistency, and definitely that FHK is totally out of the box.
Yeah, I actually like
in my opinion.
Reagan, I guess, was my favorite so far from you guys.
Yeah, that was a great smoke.
Now, I mean, I'm with smoking. Now, this is my first one, but so far, this might knock it off its perch there. But
yeah,
so, the Tantrum is
the original Tantrum was killer.
Right? The Tantrum is limited. What 700 boxes, I think.
Annual
production is 700, and this one is 2,000.
Yeah, 700.
The FHK is 2,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. And I was telling the guys last night at this event, you know, about our cigar, and I said, you know, we truly are boutique. It's truly artisan. You know, people come out with a limited edition, and they're like, "Oh, we only did 3,000 boxes of it. It's limited edition." And I'm like, 3,000 boxes? That's an entire production run for a whole year for us. I mean, dang, that's a core line, Fred.
No, absolutely, and you know, one of those things that, you know, going back, bro, to what you were saying about blending for the finish and the balance and everything else. I think we've said it on y'all's program before, but Arsenio Master Blender down at Aganorsa, one thing that he ingrained very early on with working with this master is you always have to be desiring more. You never want to be satisfied. You never blend a cigar for complete satisfaction. It always needs to be, when you put that cigar down or you finally nubbed it and you just can't have it anymore, you want the last thing in your mind to be, I want another one. I want to smoke more. And that comes with the clean finish. That comes with, complete balance, but then that clean finish that just is, you just want more of it.
It's like butter. It's like butter.
Yeah. It is. And I got a gentleman who works for me now at my work, and he's just getting into cigar smoking, and he smoked like all of us. He's tried, without going into names, he tried some cigars. He's like, it always leaves this nasty taste in my mouth. It always leaves this. And I always tell him, I've been giving him different cigars to try. And I said, I hate to say it, but in my opinion, it's because you're smoking crappy cigars. And that's a fact. And I'm not going to say names, but when you smoke a really well-made cigar, you're going to notice the difference between, now when I say taste, not having that taste on your mouth, you're still going to have little nuances of that taste, but you're not going to have that cotton mouth, that dry mouth, that you're not smoking really well-made or well-tobacco cigars. And when I start giving him, now he's smoking more, and he's like, holy crap. Yeah, what a world of difference. I like cigars now, He's like, you're right. I can go kiss my wife and I don't have that, nasty taste. And I'll tell you, consistently, time on over and over and over, and not kissing anybody's ass. Out of all of them, when it comes to consistency with leaving your mouth with that fresh palate taste, I think you guys got it far over anybody. I'll say that 100%, hands down. Except for the FHK, because that did leave a little on my, but that's a different blend. But everything else that you guys have made so far that I smoked, 100%.
Man,
if you want to know what an Ezra Zion cigar is, well, it did. The FHK left more taste on my mouth than the Tantrum is. So I'm being honest. There's nothing wrong. It's a great cigar.
Absolutely, brother.
This is a killer cigar.
Yeah.
That's your jam right there, man.
It is. I love the last Tantrum. I loved it before. I love this one already, only in the first third. It's doing right when I lit it. I knew right away it was going to be, you could just tell. And everybody's probably thinking, what the frick does that idiot know? He's an idiot. He doesn't know. But I'm telling you, smoke enough of their cigars. Go smoke any one of their cigars, one after another, and I guarantee you're going to know what I'm talking about. I promise you're going to know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's funny because Chris and I, our wives don't smoke cigars, but it's funny because we'll sit down, and Chris in his office, he's got his own smoking lounge. It's freaking epic. It's got a view of the whole valley in Texas. I mean, dude, it's like serene. And his wife will come in while we're smoking the cigar, and we're smoking our different test blends or whatever. And even though she's not tasting the cigar, just based on the room note and the aroma and the scent, the smell of the cigar, she can tell if that's a good cigar, a bad cigar. Like, that one's not that good of a blend, is it? And we're like, actually, no, it's not. How can you tell that? So I can tell by smelling it. It's like, dude.
Wow.
Yep.
So that, yeah.
Totally I'm telling you, it's
absolutely.
Yeah, it's
absolutely. And a lot of the same flavor, a lot of the same stuff that goes on with, somebody who really likes to cook, somebody who enjoys bourbon, somebody who enjoys wines, whiskeys, that really enjoys delving into the nuances of flavors and profile and working with your palate. That's exactly it. She is not a smoker, but she works with her palate consistently, in the kitchen and doing different things, and likes to just experiment and try it out.
Right.
And I'll tell you, there's been plenty of times when we came back from Nicaragua and I was just, man, we nailed it. This is so awesome. This is that. I can't wait to get back into this cigar. And then I'm smoking it, and she walks into the room and she's like, what the damn? And I'm just like, oh, but it was so good in Nicaragua. I swear.
Yeah.
We had such high hopes.
So good.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I'll tell you what, whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing, because in my opinion, you're doing it right. It's we just showed this cigar earlier in the pre-show, but I'm a huge Epernay fan. I'm a huge Headley Grange fan, and I'm a fan of those cigars because, to me, a great cigar, there's a lot of good cigars, But for a great cigar, it's got to do what this tantrum's doing, what your other tantrum's doing. It's got to leave my palate clean every time. And those cigars, if you smoke them, in my opinion, they do the same damn thing. And this and your other tantrum, your other line is doing the same damn thing. So in my opinion, for me personally, don't change it. I'm just one guy, but don't change what you're doing because the shit is working. That's all I'm going to say.
Right on. Appreciate that, brother.
And I say yes and amen to that.
I say amen and amen.
I'm telling you, if you haven't smoked this new tantrum or even the old tantrum, if you can find it, anybody in the chat room, go smoke it. I'm telling you, get that smoke in your mouth, let it out, and just wait 10 seconds, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Make sure you're a full.
Well, what it?
Oh yeah, don't be a wussy. Don't be a wussy.
Well, I can't tell you, and I know I want Kyle to get into the explanation of the name, and I also want, dude. All right, that.
Should I block him?
Just go.
I so wish you could just block him right now, bro.
We can mute him if you want.
Just freeze his ass up. One of the things in the you know what, dude, Kyle, tell him about the name. Tell him the name, son. They want to know about the name.
Yeah. Okay, so
no, I want full details on the blend.
I'm gonna give you all the deets, dude. Okay, I ain't gonna hold nothing back. Okay.
You know, Kyle, he can't hold back. He just vomits at the mouth.
Chris over there just flapping his suck. Okay, so obviously the original tantrum. I mean, was a huge success for our company. It was awesome.
Sure.
So on that, I was like, dude, people are saying, hey, you're gonna come with another one. It's gonna be like something you're gonna do an annual release of, and everything else. And we're kind of debating back and forth. And basically, we decided we just at least want to do a follow up to that, a sequel, but we want to with movies, we don't want the sequel to suck. So I'm like, okay, here's the two things we got for feedback. First thing was, we love the cigar, love tantrum, wish it was longer. It's like, okay, we can make something longer. And the next thing was, love the tantrum, love the tantrum. But I smoke it, I'm 10 minutes in, and I'm getting dizzy. I gotta sit down, I need a fan to wave myself. I eat some chicken, something, but I love the cigar, And so I was like, dude, okay, here's what we got to do. We got to take that feedback and we got to make a tantrum 2, but we got to make it the same, but different. And Chris is like, what? I'm like, no, it's got to be the same, but different. Chris is like, that is the damn dumbest thing you ever said. I'm like, no. It's got to remind you of the original tantrum, but it's got to be a standalone blend. It can't be like, oh, this is just, basically what you put out before. And the tobacco's different, but we don't have it anymore, but it's like, it can't just be, we can't phone it in, is my point. And so we went down there and we worked and blended and everything else to get it to the point of where we just thought it was friggin' awesome. Which is what you do with, 100 different blends, and then you bring it back to the States and you smoke them after they've aged, and 99 out of 100 of them freaking suck. And we've made thousands of nasty blends that I say I wouldn't wish on Bin Laden, is what I used to say, because they're friggin' terrible. And they'll never see the light of day. So what happened with this at the time, the working title of it was, the name of it was Tantrum 2. And so a couple weeks after we got back up into the States, which we got to tell the Metallica story, dude. We got to tell the Metallica story.
Dude, you don't have to
back around to the Metallica story. I'm fitting to tell the Metallica story up in this B. Okay, so I light up the cigar because you wait like 2 weeks, you let the flavors marry, you let it kind of dry out a little bit because it's all sopping wet when it's first rolled. So I'm in my man cave and I'm just like, oh, today's the day. I'm gonna crack this thing open. So I light one up. Obviously there's no band on it. I'm sitting there smoking and I'm just like, oh, this thing is freaking epic. This thing is legend. I'm trying to I got a thesaurus out trying to find new adjectives to describe how legend this is going to be. It's just blown my mind. And so I noticed the first third of the cigar, the complexity was awesome. I mean, it even tasted almost like the sweetness, and it's almost like a frosting kind of sweetness. It's hard to describe, but it's cool. Anyway, the strength in the first third was like tantrum-esque, and then the second third kind of went down through the nose to almost, and I described it as like, that's almost like Macanudo mild. And I'm like, huh. And then the last third, the strength came like raging back, and I was like, that is freaking crazy. Well, maybe they laid the filler wrong in this one or whatever. So I lit up the second one, it was the same thing, and then the third one, freaking same thing. So I'm a little phone, call Chris up, and I'm like, hey, I'm smoking the Tantrum 2 blend. And he's like, oh, is it freaking awesome? And I'm like, oh, that's freaking, hang on, let me get my thesaurus. It's serendipitous. It's awesome. And so he's like, well, I haven't smoked it. I've been riding horses like all day. And I'm like, yeah, of course you have. And so I said, dude, the strength in it, though, it's like strong, kind of mild, strong. It's like passive aggressive. And so then we just decided to shorten Tantrum PA. And then that's where the name came from. So
Right.
it's been very well received. I mean, at the IPCPR, people that were smoking it when we first, we launched it there. We're saying like, I've smoked all your guys' stuff. Retailers are coming up and saying, we'd love your guys' stuff, but this probably is the best blend you've ever done. You guys consistently are challenging yourselves to get better. And that is showing. It really does show. And that's cool to get that kind of feedback from a retailer who you can't BS because they smoke every freaking thing under the sun, good, bad, and ugly. That's awesome.
And you can tell Kyle's passionate about it because he was doing all kinds of gestures, and he even faked being on the phone at the same time he's talking to you.
I was like,
exactly
a daggum dramatization of what's going on.
Well, and one of the things that happens is when you get those blends, and for those of you that know, I mean, you have pairs, right? You got your buncher, your roller down in Nicaragua. You got your pairs. So now you have to sit there and go, okay, we had these blends, and we gave the blends, and the pairs ended up who rolled them? Who were the pairs that did our sample bundles that we went through and aged and did the whole thing through? Because then you have to go back and make sure that the same hands are you working with the same tobacco, because one pair may work differently with the tobacco and lay it differently, and so on. Even just those subtleties, because like Kyle was saying with that Tantrum PA, it truly is the most noticeable transition cigar that we make. And if you haven't had a chance to smoke it, or Mike, when you're smoking it right now, you will literally be able to define first third, middle third, final third. I mean, it is literally that definitive. And that's the reason why, even though it is a mainline cigar, where we can go back and we have plenty of access to the tobaccos, when you're utilizing just two pairs, you can only get so much out of it as they're still going through all the other stuff that's going on down there. I mean, it's classic Dion. If you recently were following some of Dion's, I'm not sure if it was on his Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or something like that, but like he took a picture with the pair that rolled the Singularity 2014s. Just two folks handling that tobacco, y'all. And why? Because Dion is, I mean, one of the things that he's spoken to us is just uber oversight, overview, consistency, quality, QC, all the time, every time, and the least amount of or variables in that equation, helps it out. So yeah, we got tons of tobacco, and we hope it really picks up, and it picks up steam. But in order to still have those very definitive transitions, you got to maintain consistency, bro.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's 100% the truth, and that's why Dion is successful. That's why Dion, doesn't have to come out with cigars every year. That's why Fuente does it. That's why, because of consistency. It's consistent. Yeah. If you smoke this cigar today and 5 years now, this one won't be available, but 5 years from now, it's consistent. So if you stick with the way you're doing it, your whole line's been consistent.
Yep.
The one consistency I can say with Ezra Zion is your palate will always remain clean when you smoke their cigars. Consistency.
Yep. Yeah,
now,
right on.
That's where success comes.
You brought up about having the two rollers and having them do the cigars. For a smaller company like these, how hard is it to find that and to find those people in the time frame that you're looking at getting your cigars out in?
Well, we work with Casa Fernandez. This is all Aganorsan tobacco. So, Tabsa down in Nicaragua, Esteli. I mean, Eduardo, Paul, Jacinto, Gerardo, Arsenio, all those guys have just been just amazing, as well as Dion. I mean, Dion's spoken to us and given us advice, and and spoken into our company, and we I mean, obviously appreciate his counsel, but being able to have such access to such phenomenal tobacco, and then also being able to have such access to somebody like Arsenio, a master blender who is just unreal. I mean, they pretty much is just as they say, this is your home. You tell us what you want to do in your home. And I know that may sound very like, come on guys, really, you guys are still pretty FNGs, you're still pretty new, there's no real way. Truly, that's how that family is. I mean, from Eduardo and Max, coming down there, when they say it's your home, dude, there is no door shut. There is no tobacco left, separated from us.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. If we want to pick our bunchers and rollers, we've even had to pair up bunchers and rollers before that we picked from 2 different pairs, to be able to do that. So, we've been very fortunate in that, man. I got to tell you, hat tip to the, folks down there in Tabs of being able to just be so friendly with us and just be so giving, allowing us to play around down there.
Oh, yeah, nice. That does sound very nice. And Kyle, pulling at it won't make it any longer. I just want to let you know.
And Mike's an expert at pulling at it and seeing that it doesn't get longer after a while.
Dude. That's funny right there. Well, one other thing too about Arsenio, and some people that about Arsenio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just circle back around.
I thought you were talking about Arsenio Hall. I got lost there for a minute. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Arsenio Ramos. Chris, mentioned Master Blender down there. The thing that makes him awesome is that he's not only a master blender, for us, he's a master teacher. I mean, the dude really has a heart to teach and to talk about the decades and decades and generational knowledge that he's had growing up in Cuba and everything else.
Dude, he wrote the freaking book for Cuba.
He wrote the book.
Bro. He wrote the book that they used to teach all the Cubans in freaking Cuba. That's Arsenio. That is Arsenio. No bullshit, dude. No bullshit. That's not calling bullshit, man. That's telling you what kind of a prince of a man. Dude, that guy has flushed more knowledge down the toilet than the 4 of us combined will ever know about tobacco, bro. Seriously. Down the turlet.
Down the turlet. Yeah. So anytime that we talk about working down the factory, I mean, Arsenio is the heartbeat of that, and we go down there, and I mean, I look at it like this whole industry is analogous to the music industry, and we go down there, it's like making an album, if you will, and Arsenio is like the producer. You know what I mean? So
Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica.
I didn't forget. You just said music. It just hit me. And I mean, cut you off. I want you to forget Metallica.
Okay, this is kind of a long story.
Chris wants you to.
Dude,
we don't want
Chris,
you to.
Yeah, no. Chris wants you to forget. Let's just all forget.
I'm not, dude. How you couldn't forget this, dude? It's like forgetting the birth of your child. It's so amazing. It's one of the highlights of a lifetime.
I was flown up in the air and I spun around 3 times and I landed right on my balls.
They're like, what? A little inside joke.
Oh,
okay. So
I like the fact that Mike's got to push his microphone away to wipe the tears out of his eyes, bro, while we're talking. Dude, I don't know if that's good or if he's just like, these guys are so freaking off it, bro. I'm just trying to get some damn knowledge.
Hey, listen, I told you guys before, man, it's always good.
Cameo. We're at City Place Cigar, Lynchburg, Virginia. This is the man.
We don't want to see a crotch shot. There you go.
Hey, there he is. If you're ever in Lynchburg, you're ever in Virginia, you got to go to Bob's Shop. He's got 2 great shots. 2 great shots.
2 great shots.
There you go.
Good, man.
Dude,
give him a plug. Give him a plug.
Look, I'll plug it,
man. Plug it.
City Place Cigar, man. It's great. It is a kingdom-based shop. Wonderful ministry opportunities there. And it's exactly why we designed it. And God's just really good. So, thanks, guys.
Anytime. Thank you.
Yep.
Put the check in the mail.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. Okay, so
Chris, quick. He was like, never mind. He went and made a quick wardrobe change and shit.
Yeah,
it's the Grammys.
There you go. There you go. Dude. Hey, this is part 2 of the episode, right?
Part 2 of the Grammys. We're 45 minutes in and we haven't learned shit yet, except that their stuff is consistent. They got Arsenio is killer, and that's all we learned so far.
Okay, well, you're fitting to learn something awesome. Okay, so
and Chris fell on his balls. Bingo, that's the 3.
Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, that was pretty much it. And you got to do this when you say it. You got to pull your fist toward yourself, which is I don't know why, but you just got to do it. So okay, so Metallica story. Okay. Get ready to hear one of the greatest stories of all time that will go down in the folklore of the cigar annals of history. Okay, and that's annals
Not animals, Mike. Don't get excited over there.
Put the mic down, bro.
Yeah, take it away from your mouth.
He's got that Bob Barker thing going on over there with that mic. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so we are down in Nicaragua. Esteli, we blended. We were on a long trip. We had a suitcase full of blends that were new blends and stuff we had worked on, and it was actually this blend was in that pack as well. And so we had some stuff that we were just like, hey, this is like Fort Knox level security on this thing. So we go. I don't know if you guys have ever been down there, but we get down to the airport in Managua, and you get all through security and customs and all that stuff. When we actually get into the terminal, there's like a little coffee shop. And so knowing us, we're like, dude, we've got like 10 hours of sleep this week. We got to get some coffee. So Chris and I are standing in the line, and they don't really have like the American customer service kind of work ethic. So you stand in that line for freaking ever while they take their sweet time making you your latte. So anyway, we're standing in line, and there's like three kind of, I don't know, girls that are maybe in their early 20s or something like that. One Nicaraguan girls that are standing over there, and they're kind of talking, whispering, and pointing over at us. And at first I was like, yeah, a pretty young thing. No, not really. But I was like, what the world's going on?
They're laughing at the two gringos. That's what they're laughing at.
Yeah, well, I was just like, oh, dude, there wouldn't be like, prostitutes at the freaking airport. It was awkward, okay? Because we don't go for that stuff. Anyway, so I'm sitting there going, man, dude, I know I'm pretty, but we ain't that pretty to warrant this level of attention. And then I know what it is, because this happens sometimes. One of these girls comes over to Chris, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, this could be the makings of something freaking in the annals of the cigar ethos. And she comes up and she goes, are you? And Chris, I think he did finally dawn on him. He starts turning red, and he goes, no. Well, I saw my opportunity, so I jumped in and I went, nah, shh. Vamos, or whatever. I don't know. Scooching over there.
Vomit? What do you mean vomit?
Right. And so Chris is like, dude, I will blankety blank. Stuff I won't say in case my mom's watching. And I'm just laughing hysterically. So another one comes up. Are you? Chris like, no. And I just went, shh, just go. Don't tell nobody. She's like, oh. So they're giggling and laughing all this stuff. And I'm just like, and Chris is like, dude, I will freaking end you. I will end you. You will never see your wife again. You'll see your kids again. I will end you in this line waiting for a latte. Anyway, we got our coffee, and we had at that time the rep that was working with us, who is like 6'7", bald dude. He was like freaking Godzilla to all these Nicaraguans. Everywhere we went walking down the street, they were like, oh my goodness, I've never seen a human that big. It's like freaking Sasquatch, a shaven Sasquatch or something. He was huge. So we get back
10 days, he was called Gigantor. He literally opened the door to our driver's taxi, and he went to go shut the door, and the door panel came off in his hand, bro. Wow. The whole door panel. Like, he's sitting there holding it, and the door's still open.
So he's huge. He's huge, and he's a total freaking metalhead. So we get back to where he's sitting at the terminal, get him his coffee, and I start telling him, I'm like, oh, dude, there was these girls, and they thought that he was James Hetfield from Metallica, dude. That's it.
You can say it.
And so he's like, no way. And I'm like, dude, and they're actually like right behind you over at the Padron kiosk. And I said, and there's more of them now. There's like 10 or 15 of them, and they're all trying to. I'll do more dramatic replays, and they're taking their pictures with their phone and everything else. And he's like, dude, that's hilarious. And I'm like, dude, they're freaking coming over here. They're coming over here right now. I said, Brandon, you're the bodyguard. I'm the squirrely handler. And dude, you're freaking James Hetfield from Metallica. And Chris is like, you son of a. So Brandon jumps up, doing this thing in front of Chris and everything, pushing it back behind him and all this stuff. And the girl comes up, can I have a photo with Mr. Metallica? And Chris is like, better not. And I said, you know what? Uno, rapido. So she gets up there, and Chris finally just caved, and he's like, all right. I'm like, I got her photo, and I'm like, smile, man. Dude, people started freaking lining up. Freaking crowd formed. There's a freaking 200 people around us, man. And Chris is on this thing for 20, 30 minutes, freaking taking pictures, signing stuff, doing stuff. And then it was all Nicaraguans. And then Americans started coming over, getting in line. And I'm just like, oh, are you freaking kidding me right now?
We're flying up to Houston from Managua to Houston with these people, and now they're lining up to get in line to take pictures and to sign. I'm like, oh no, this is not gonna.
So whose name did you sign?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just
scribbled. Okay, so all that is the preface to the actual legitness of the story, okay? Because we had all these samples. See, you thought I mentioned that for no reason? No, it's the heart of the story. So we have all these samples in our bag, and for whatever reason, we got put in freaking group 5, which is group freaking BI, and they come on the thing, we have a full flight. You're gonna have to check your bags if you're sneaking riding the back of the bus and the freaking roached out seats next to the crapper. And that's where we were freaking getting on with all these people. So anyway, I'm like, oh, dude, there ain't no way in the world this thing is going in the belly of this bird. We got to carry this thing on, handle this with kid gloves. These are freaking samples we've been working a long freaking time on. So I'm like, I'll get us on this plane. So I go up there. This is me walking as a squirrely handler up to the dude. I cut in front of the line. Okay. And I'm like, as you can see, my friend, we're about to have an international incident. Okay. I got a celebrity out here. I said, you see him signing autographs, you see him taking pictures, and we need to go on this plane now. And he was like, what? I said, do you want to have a freaking international incident with a major American celebrity because you are derelict in your duty? And he's like, I don't know, Como, what derelict is. I'm like, you messed up and didn't get us on this plane. And he's like, how many of there are you? I said, there's 3. And he's like, okay, we'll get you on the plane. So I ran back over to Chris. I'm like, dude, get your stuff, give me your passport, and freaking Brandon clear a pass. So freaking 6'7" Brandon stands up, move, and there was like the freaking Red Sea parting. So I said, Chris, just pull your hat down like this and just follow me. So Brandon's doing all this bodyguard stuff and everything else. And we go walk him to the front, and I hand him, I said, this is my passport and his. And he looks at Chris's passport, and he's all like, Chris Kelly? I thought I said, dude, it's a stage name, man. You expect the guy to use his real name? Get us on this plane. So we freaking go, and when you actually get onto the little walkway to get on the skyway or whatever to walk on the plane, there's army people there. They check you one more time. Do you think you're in the clear with the whatever balloons you swallowed? There's one more checkpoint. Okay, and so we walk by these guys with this freaking AK-47s, and they just go with their phone. So we get on. We're all sitting there. Everybody's walking by, getting on the plane. Chris is just sitting in his seat like. Brandon is standing up, making sure people are not getting swirly or sideways, and everybody's walking by doing the whole. And Chris like, that was actually pretty freaking sweet. So that everybody gets loaded. They're about to close the door on the plane, and the dude that was at the front counter that got us on the plane comes in, acts like he's counting whatever. Okay, and you see his phone slip up, and he goes. And then he freaking ran off, man. They closed the door, and we flew back to America. It was freaking awesome.
That's great.
James Hetfield, man.
That's a great story. Now you're going to get an email from him. Yeah. He's a huge fan. He's a huge fan of our show. I didn't know if you knew that.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
So, yeah.
So if you actually check out the social media scene in Nicaragua on that day, Chris was trending because that was like that owned Instagram in Nicaragua, Twitter in Nicaragua.
I can see it. You could definitely see the resemblance.
Man.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. People have been talking about that forever. They're just saying, you know who I met?
Oh yeah.
I said, dude, in 50 years, there's going to be those girls at that Padron kiosk that got their picture. They're going to be showing that picture to their grandkids. Like, I met a very famous American rock star.
Yeah. And they'll be like, no, that's the Ezra Zion dude.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. You're confused. They'll be like, what?
Chris, you made their dreams come true, buddy.
That's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for.
The best story, I think.
I mean, you feel a little dirty doing it. I got to be honest with you, because like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, no, dude, this ain't cool. This ain't right, and everything else. And then I'm like, but we can get all 300 cigars in our lap on the airplane. Okay, all right, let's do it.
Hey, listen,
I told the guy too. I said, if you don't get us on this plane, this is gonna be an international incident. You're gonna have cops all over here. You're gonna have Americans all over here. I was like, you don't put baby in a corner. I'm getting on this plane.
Baby in the corner. I knew that reference was going to come today to that shit.
Sooner or later, it's going to happen.
It's got to happen on Stogie411.
It has. See, Christo, you were good. You didn't go. You just said, nope, that's not me. That's I'm okay. Nope, wasn't me. So you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, that's right. It was all the squirrely handler.
Yeah.
You're going to have to come out with a blend, though. You're going to have to come out with a blend to pay homage and say, hey, the next blend will be the Tantrum M.
Dude, the great thing is when I grew up, they were just starting. Dude, I would go and see these guys, in Long Beach, in Mothers and all the places before they actually hit big, when they were just in the underground circuit. So, man, dude, yeah, it's pretty it's pretty cool, but at the same time, it's very intimidating because, you know, you're just like going, oh no, this is not good. And then when the Americans started standing up and wanted to take pictures, I was like, I mean, like dudes, like all of a sudden you would see like a dude, like you would see him just kind of like whatever, and then it would click, and they were like all,
they were so
like,
excited.
Like dudes were coming at me, and I'm like, oh, okay, that isn't good, bro. I'm gonna get my ass handed to me in a minute.
It's like you're like the Americans. The Americans gotta know, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
the Americans just, you know, whatever. So it's all good. All right. So what we've covered,
and the blend has changed, by the way. It has the strength has gone down.
So what we've covered so far: Arsenio Ramos, master blender, legit, right?
Right on.
Wrote the book.
Kyle,
the book, man.
Squirrely ass handler.
Yes, squirrely.
Yeah.
Emphasis on squirrely.
And Mike with a Mike, he'll beat the shit out of you, dude, and leave him in his styrofoam. I mean, he will beat the crap out of you.
I mean, he's holding on. He's got a nice grip on that mic too. Look at him. He's holding on to it. Like,
that's right.
But you notice he's not white knuckling it. He's very soft and
he's very sensitive with it. He's
supple.
Supple. Soft and something.
That's awesome. All right.
So it was Mike in the library.
Hey, why don't we talk about some serious stuff, bro? What brought us out to
talked about how you're Metallica. It doesn't get no more serious than that.
Dude,
the first hour is already gone. We haven't even talked about half of anything. The first hour is already gone.
Oh God.
We haven't even touched base on anything.
We haven't talked about anything. So all right, dude, so check it out. We're in DC, bro. We're in DC.
Yes.
We're at the Hill. We're freaking we're spreading the gospel, man. That's what we've been doing for these last few days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever, how long.
Well,
3 days.
There we go. I'm going to throw a curve right now. Since you're in DC, Johnny had a question earlier. Let's talk a little bit about the FDA and the whole cigar regulations.
Yeah, has there been?
So how excited are you guys about that? To have to sell all your cigars for over $10? No.
Yeah, right.
Well,
here's the thing, and obviously, Kyle and I can tag team this one because the reality is that nothing has been done yet.
Right.
Okay. That we're still in this. Nothing has been done yet. We're fixing to close on this section. Right. We have an entire new Senate and House coming in at the beginning of the year, so the bill is going to be reintroduced, but. We can't stop, man. That's the thing, man. So check it out. Like, I know you always hear the pitch, CRA, IPCPR. If any of your viewers, any of your followers, any of your readers, any of your attendees to your website are not members of the CRA, bro, y'all got to become members, man. Because check it out. I know that Kyle and I hear this all the time. Whenever we do an event, we'll do an event. We'll talk about our blends. We'll talk about our cigars and everything else. And if there's a little raffle or something like that, we'll put up a little something extra for CRA membership. And if you're not a member and you're a new member and you show us that you're a member at the event or something like that, we give you a little extra love. Because
you get a picture with Metallica.
There you go.
Yes.
That's right. And I'll sign it.
And Jonathan Drew.
Right. One drop of water from one man smoking one cigar is not going to fill up the cup, man. But if we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to do it, that's what it's going to do, right? So, and we're doing our part, man. We're not sucking on that CRA teat. This is money coming straight from Kyle and I. This is sacrifice from our families. This is cigars from our own private products. We're not leaning on. Spend 3 days, walk the halls, educate, host events, to pass out cigars, but more importantly, to pass out the word, man, that we are not freaking Philly blunts, bro. Premium cigars they were never intended to be freaking regulated, man. They were always separated. I don't give a rip. Democrat, Republican, left wing, right wing, freaking gay, straight, white, black, Hispanic, Latino, Chinese. I don't give a rip, dude, because in this fight, we all need to walk in the same direction. We all need to attack the same hill. And check it out, dude. I mean, we have tons of people from both sides of the aisles, bro, left and right, that will sit there and have gone on record and say, Philly blunt, yes. Vape, yes. Premium cigars, don't touch it. Never meant to be. Never gonna be. Don't do it. I'm pretty passionate about this, bro. I just spent the last 3 days in the freaking belly of the beast. Did you know that there is a small little Disneyland? Like, I mean, it's like the little, when you go to Disneyland and you get the little friggin', you're sitting there, you got your small little child and everything else, and I'm 6'1" and 200 pounds, and then I'm sitting with my daughter in the little bitty car, and you got like your freaking knees and like up your chin and crap like that. But you're doing it, man. You're doing it for the love of your babies. They got a little train like that underneath the Capitol, dude, that the senators and the legislators, they all ride back and forth up. And it's freaking funny shit, man. Because these guys, they sit there and rather than walking down the road, everything else, they sit there like little freaking lemmings in this little thing, and they're all, it's freaking hilarious. And yes, I did ride in it because I wanted to. And I wanted to put some texture.
I'm Chris Kelly, and I approve this message.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I want to ride.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we got off the train, and Chris was like, "Can we ride it again one more time?" And I'm like, "Dude, we got freaking stuff to do. Come on."
Exactly. It was pretty cool though.
And Chris said, "Off to Neverland." That's what
That's right. But dude, it's true, man. It's true. It ain't lying, man. You go down there, you're in like this freaking 6 foot tall corridors. There's pipes. It's like being freaking on ship in the military and everything else, man. But it was good. I got to say, we're, as y'all know or don't know, we're North Texas boys. We're Texan, and to be able
would have never guessed.
to be. Do we need to do another wardrobe change?
There we go. And his third wardrobe change of the show.
But being able to, meet with Cornyn's office and Cruz's office and Gomer's office and a bunch of good, hearted Texans and everything else, and just, basically, man, we're not looking, to be the immature folks that are just like, don't step on my rights, don't do that, and everything else. We actually have legal precedent, bro, that we were supposed to be exempt from the beginning.
Right.
And that's all we're asking for, bro. We're not asking for put a dollar amount on something. Federal government has never, ever, ever put a dollar amount on anything. If they had, cigarettes would be like $40 a pack, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
people got to realize it's going to, as much as it's going to affect the manufacturer, it's going to affect the consumer as well. A lot. It's going to affect you a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, we're in a boutique cigar renaissance. I mean, we're going to look back at this time and be like, that was a boutique boom. And hopefully it's still being sustained decades from now. But there's never been a better time to be a cigar smoker than today. I mean, even as some guy who makes cigars, I am still a fanboy of so many great cigars out there, and that will go away. And, like the saying goes, freedom isn't free. That's true for our freedom to be able to, enjoy premium cigars. If we don't step up, it literally is life and death. If we don't step up with one stroke of a pen, this whole culture can go away. Yep. The access to these great cigars can go away. And it's not freaking hyperbole. It's not us, saying the sky is falling. It's literally true. We have people in this administration that want to see a tobacco-free country in all its forms. That's the end game that they have. And so anything they can do to take a step toward that, that's what they want to do. So the only thing standing between that happening and the freedom we want, or what we have now, is us going out there and making every effort we possibly can. And that's, if it's going to the Hill and educating, like Chris said, I was shocked to go in there and sit down and talk to these people. And they're like, I never even heard of this. I'm like, what the frick? This is we're so in this every single day. But to these people, they never heard of it. So there's a whole lot of work to be done. And I think, I'm optimistic, if we can actually put in the time and the effort, we're going to win this thing. And we're going to win it not only for us, but I think generationally, for my kids and everybody's kids. It's like, if they want to smoke cigars, or if they, in our case, if they want to actually get into the industry, it's a great industry to be in. I want this thing to exist because we benefit from it. And I want to be able to pass that on to our posterity. How you like that for a big word?
There you go. That is a big word. But dude,
spell it
for real. It's post, and I can't go on beyond that.
That's good enough.
One of the you're freaking hilarious. one of the good things, that we were able to, do a little meet and greet, little event, have a whole bunch of people, like I was saying, from both sides of the aisles, man. And I'm a little bit more jaded. I have a law enforcement background, and so I tend to smell BS a little bit sooner than others, just because of that's just the reality of it. Dude, I got to admit, man, being able to meet so many different people from so many different states, from so many different offices, and I'm being vague on purpose here, but being able to meet with these people, and politically, dude, we are like arm distances away, man. But smoking that cigar and being able to sit there and look at them and talk to them about that cigar and everything else, and to even have people, dude, I wouldn't believe in a million years that these kind of people would be saying what they were saying, dude. And they're just like, oh, there's no reason for it. It's ridiculous. This should not ever have happened. Should never have happened. And so it's good, man. It's promising. But you know what? Everything takes money, right? Nothing's for free. You got to go down. You want to smoke a good cigar, it's going to cost you a couple bucks to do that, you know? Right. And if you want to be able to go down and smoke a good cigar from guys like Kyle and I, from up and coming guys, there's people out there that are going to have great cigars in the years to come that aren't even in the industry yet, bro. They're not even here yet. They're still playing with tobacco. They're still doing these dream trips to Nicaragua and the DR and Honduras and everything else. But dude, in order for us to be able to do that, man, it takes a couple bucks. And it isn't a whole bunch of money to join the CRA, man. And that's all you do once a year is just join the CRA. And maybe if you're at an event, you know, put a couple bucks up in there and something like that. That's it. It's a small price to pay, man. It's a small price to pay.
Yep. And you can join it too. People who listening to this, or they can go to our website. We have a big banner up. You can join CRA right from our website. And you can go over to their website and join it. We're members of CRA. So go do it.
Okay. And I'll go ahead. I'm sorry.
What's that?
I'll say one quick thing on that. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, you give money to something, and it goes to pay people's salaries, and the executives make freaking $5 million a year. It ain't true. I mean, the CRA they call their office the closet. It literally is. It's a small little office. They have a small, tiny little footprint, basically to store their files and stuff in there. And there's no glamour about it. These guys, all the money, the lion's share of the money goes to hiring attorneys and getting stuff done legislatively and working on the Hill and winning hearts and minds. I mean, your money does go to to where you are actually wanting it to go. Right. So it's a really, really legit thing. It's a very well run organization. And like I said, if we do this right, we can win this thing. But if we roll over, we have nobody to blame but ourselves.
Right. Agree with you. And speaking of legit, it's legit.
Nice.
That's legit.
I'm digging this.
Nice.
Thank you, sir.
The FHK. I mean, now this is way more in line with what I prefer compared with like the Tantrum. I mean, the Tantrum's a good cigar.
No, you could smoke this.
That one.
Yeah, but you could smoke this. Because right now it's definitely I'm midway, and it's a, to me it's a low medium right now at midway.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
You could smoke this really seriously because I don't know what the last third's gonna do, but even to me, even the first third wasn't really full. I think the other Tantrum was more full all the ways through. Right. In my opinion. This one's a high medium. Now it's a low medium. I haven't gotten to the bottom third, but awesome.
Me pretty good.
Well, you're a pussy. That's why. But anyways, I mean, every group's got to have one, and we got one.
Thank you.
Oh, dang, dude.
I love you, buddy. I love you. It's from the heart. Oh. But this cigar's legit, man. I'm telling you, it's legit. I'm telling everybody in the chat room, you gotta go try it. It's legit. I'm telling you. The shit is legit. So let's do this. We're past the hour already, so it doesn't matter. But what have we not touched base on, or you got anything new you can talk about? We always like new shit. Everybody likes new stuff that you can and can't. And I want to know, how are things still going under the House of Emilio?
Yeah, right on.
That house is getting huge, man. It shouldn't even be called House of Emilio anymore. It should be called Mansion of Emilio.
Yeah,
because you got so many legit players under there, from 1502, from Rodrigo to you guys. I mean, there's more I'm not even touching base on. It's legit. What's going on over there? That's what I want to know.
We got good things going on, man. I mean, House of Emilio it's growing by leaps and bounds. And when I mean growing, we haven't had any new brand owners enter into House of Emilio, but as far as infrastructure goes, it's been one of those growth years, just getting the foundation laid underneath of us, for the exponential growth that we've had in the past 2 years. I mean, quite honestly, we were outgrowing our infrastructure. And when you do that, you leave you leave a lot of people out in the breeze. You leave a lot of retailers out there that have gone unserviced. You leave a lot of territories that have gone unserviced, and it's not right. So, I mean, I'm totally super excited to still be a part of House of Emilio. Still excited about being a part of everything that's got going on. I know Kyle can talk a little bit more if he wants about with our sales reps, but I mean, dude, we got some good guys, man, and we got some freaking gnarly coverage, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody,
for sure.
Everybody in the chat room's buzzing. They want to know when's the Ezra Zion Stogie411 exclusive coming out. They're calling it the EZ411.
Whoa,
dude!
There you go.
We might have to do this.
Trademark it. Trademark it.
EZ411.
That's pretty legit.
That's pretty friggin'.
Ah,
there you go. We might have to talk a little bit about
San Andreas Mexican Maduro wrapper. I'm telling you, I think we might have something going here.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to check trademark on that EZ411.
That's a good name. That really is.
I'm gonna have to buy that one.
Name. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the details are still forthcoming.
Yeah,
that's what we'll say. That's our official position.
Nice.
But on the HOE front, HOE's never been bigger, never been better. We've been able to go out and get in-house guys in territories that we didn't have in-house guys. And like Chris said, we've kind of been a little bit of a victim of our own success, where people, because we're so big on social media and everything, retailers would get product and stuff like that in territories we didn't really have coverage yet. I mean, you can only build a house, one freaking brick at a time. And so it just takes time to do that. And so we were outpacing our ability to keep up with that. And so we've now kind of circled the wagons here and just said, hey, we got to make sure that, we're building infrastructure. We can actually give white glove customer service the way that we want to, that these brands are being represented the way they deserve to be. And so I think we've turned a corner. It's been pretty exciting because it's been a lot of freaking work, but I mean, it's worth building, and it's a freaking cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, we've grown. We actually have nationwide coverage, man. We have coverage now, coast to coast. Believe it or not, we actually have coverage in Alaska and Hawaii now.
Wow.
So it's it's one of those things to be able to have in-house guys, that be able to have guys that are 100% yours. We have some awesome brokers as well, but be able to have these in-house guys that are excited. We have some veterans in the force, and we also have some young blood that's just cutting their teeth out there in the market and have been doing freaking phenomenal.
Yes.
So there's something to be said about wisdom and treachery is no match for youth and vigor. But man, the youth that we got on the sales force right now they're doing awesome, man. They're kicking some serious butt. But here's the thing, right? And I say this with all humility, even though it's going to sound like I'm a big friggin' boasting, arrogant prick. The reality is, dude, any one of our sales reps can pass any one of our cigars across the table to a retailer, and it's worth their salt to be on their shelves. That's truly the reality of it, because I feel that way about everybody that's in House of Emilio with all the cigars that we have in there. One of the great things that Gary has helped build with this thing is make sure that there's phenomenal cigars out there. Yeah. And a victory for 1502 in a particular lounge is awesome. And a victory for Ezra Zion in a different lounge is awesome. And that's one of the things that a lot of people really can't put their heads around is, it's not like you guys are in competition, and you guys definitely don't badmouth each other, and this and that, but it's really weird. And because we truly are a family, man, we're a house, and it's great. And a victory for one or two other brands may be a potential spot for Ezra Zion to be honored in their humidor. But, right. Every lounge is different, man. And that not only goes for different brands, but it also goes for blends. I mean, there's been blends that Ezra Zion has in certain shops that have done a lot better than others. And there's been times when we've had phone calls and, from retailers and saying, hey, this blend isn't really working out that well, but this one and this one is doing really good. Okay, what do we need to do to help you out? Let's try to make this work. We obviously want to do the best we can for that particular place. Like Kyle's in right now, that lounge right there, dude, that's a tantrum lounge, bro. Those guys go through tantrum like it's their job. Yeah. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But that's just that lounge.
Right.
That's just what happened.
Right.
Yeah, we have another chain of retailers in Tennessee, and one of the number one cigars that they sell out of anything is the Eminence. That's a freaking Eminence shop. I mean, they're just freaking Eminence whores up there.
That's good.
Yep.
Listen, you got to sell them all.
That's right.
Plain and simple. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the biggest challenge, and I always find it amazing with manufacturing, is there's so much new shit always. You know what I mean? So, you know, trying to get that shelf space is, to me, and I haven't blended a cigar or anything, but to me, that would be the hardest part of the job.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, trying to get that shelf space, because there's so limited shelf space. You know, you could go and not saying that anybody can make a great cigar, because I'm not saying that, but now that seeing where you guys are from when we first met you guys 3 years ago on a show and to where you are today, you know how to make cigars. That's a given, in my opinion. There's a no-brainer. But to get that shelf space to me would be the hard challenge, because you got to have it. If you don't have the shelf space, you ain't selling shit unless you're selling it on the internet.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right. So
to me, that would be the hardest part. And now, since you're under again, I'm going to say the mansion of Emilio, he needs to change that name, because I got nothing but respect for Gary and the things that he has done in my opinion in a short time is amazing. Yeah. And getting the right group of guys together, such as yourself, such as 1502, such as Rodrigo, and getting all you guys in this place and working together. It just shows you the camaraderie in this industry. You know, it reminds me, I remember when I used to ride Harleys all the time. You ever saw a Harley broke down on the side of the road, there'd be like 10, 15 guys there stopping, helping, no questions asked. And it's the same way I see in the cigar business. Nobody, for the most part, badmouths anybody. Is there a few douchebags out there? Absolutely there are. There's a few douchebag bloggers. There's a few douchebag cigar manufacturers. They're out there. You know, not everybody is that way. But for the core group, I think you see everybody wants everybody to succeed. There's enough room. There's enough cigar, and there's enough business out there for everybody to have a piece of the pie.
That's right.
So
that's right. And their success is our success. You know,
absolutely.
I mean, one of the things that, you know, people, you know, have a hard time understanding is, you know, well, John Huber, he comes out with a lot of these short runs and this and that. But you know what that does? That causes people to come back into that tobacconist store. And what does every tobacconist hear every single time somebody walks in the store? What's new? What is new? What have I not smoked? What is new? What have I not smoked? And, you know, a lot of these guys that have been around the block a little bit longer than Kyle and I, you know, John is a perfect example, being able to get out there and do his own stuff and do these short runs and everything else. He's keeping people engaged with their local tobacconists. He's keeping them coming back for more, Pete with his Monster Series, you know, Dion with all of his stuff. I mean, that just keeps people coming in, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
It's great. It's awesome, man. And
I find a lot when I go to cigar shops, and not all of them, but for the most part, it's amazing how a lot of these smaller brick and mortars, you know, there's, you know, we get to interact with you guys and a lot of manufacturers. We have a big benefit that I would say, I don't want to say a lot of them don't have. They have the resources to get in touch with all these people. Let's be honest. The interweb, you can find about anything about anybody, right? But when I go to a lot of them, it kind of disappoints me when I'll go into a shop and I'll say, hey, have you heard about this cigar, this guy? And they'll be like, nah, who's that? And I'm like, wow, you know, you're missing out. And I've done it myself, not to toot my own horn, but I've done it with a lot of people's cigars who aren't in that shop. I'll say to the guy, hey, listen, I'm going to come in next week. I'll give him cigars that I purchased myself. Just try this. Here's the guy's info. Contact this guy. Call this guy. And I've had a lot of shops have major success bringing in some guys' lines. I mean, big success. And I'm like, these guys are just, you got to get out there. You got to get on the social media. You got to get in touch with you, because there's so many good, you know, small batch guys, you know, smaller guys that you're missing out that are making killer shit that your people would love if you just tried it, you know? And I think that's one resource that I think not all, but a lot of the brick and mortars that I go to are missing out on. And they really need to look at, you know, guys like yourselves. Not that they're not. I'm just saying there's some that these small batch guys, you're missing out on some great cigars. Guys there. We just had Moya Ruiz on the other day. Yeah, and he's got some killer shit. And, you know, it's like, I know I've been to some brick and mortars up here, and his stuff's nowhere to be found. And I'm like, dude, you're missing out. There's a lot of good small guys on there. But, you know, I find when you go in there, you see the people, you know, and nothing against any of these guys, you know, they're reaching for, you know, a Macanudo because, you know, they see it on the Golf Channel every day, or you know, they're going for the Fuentes or the Padron, the names that they, you know, the big guys that are out there. But there's so many little great cigars out there that people really gotta, when you walk in a humidor, in my opinion, look around. Don't grab the first thing. Look around. Look down a little bit on the lower shelves. You'll be surprised what you find. You'll find a gem, I guarantee you. So how you guys do that, get your asses in the brick and mortars. I give you all the kudos, because I think the blending, you could probably do with your eyes closed now. You don't even need to do that anymore. Worry about getting in more brick and mortars, because you got to get more. I mean, your cigars are killer, sir. And I don't say it to everybody. There's a select few people that, I don't kiss anybody's ass. There's a select few group that I'll say is making killer shit, and you guys are in my top 5.
So I appreciate that, man.
So, for sure.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
So consistency. You'll be successful if it's consistent.
I want to ask
That's right. That's right.
New user working on that you can talk about.
Yeah, EZ411.
Other than EZ411.
We're going to talk about it right now.
Yeah, it's a San Andreas Maduro wrap cigar, and that's about as far as we've got on that project.
That's it. We got the wrapper picked out. We haven't got anything else yet.
There you go.
Yeah. They're going to come in boxes of 170. They're going to be...
That'll be different, huh?
They're going to be...
No, 411.
Oh, there you go. They're going to be $4.11 each. Wow. I don't know how we can do that.
Man,
exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's
tobacco we use.
There's always something that, you know, you always have to be working this year for the next and the next and the next. You know, we're not of the mindset that, you know, FDA and the penny regulations and all that stuff, you know, doomsday scenario, we have to stop and wait. You know, there's a lot of folks, you saw a lot of that, heard a lot of that, you know, last year at IPCPR, and you know, and the reality is you can't live your life by the life police, man. You got to get out there and you got to be doing it. So, yeah, we got it. You know, I don't know if Kyle wants to, you know, say a little bit of something about maybe what might be coming down the pike after, you know.
We don't have to go full details. If there's any little snidbit you can throw.
Well,
people always like a little snidbit. What?
You want to talk, Chris, you want to talk about pricing?
Oh, pricing. I thought he said something else. I was like, what? Did he say what I thought he said?
I didn't, apparently.
I'm like, we're going to get into that?
Exactly.
I don't expect that from you two.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's got to be the beard's talking and shit. His mouth was closed, but the beard was talking.
There you go. And we got some, you know, some pretty exciting news that's going to be coming up with our pricing. You know, we've been out this for a few years, and I'm alluding to earlier with our relationship with Casa Fernandez and their house being our house, and the continuing work that we have going on there. Let's just put it this way. You're going to very quickly see something that is a rarity that happens in the cigar industry as it pertains to pricing, and with particular Ezra Zion.
Look at he's smiling over there. See him?
Yeah.
The cheap bastard's like, come on, bring it out.
Well, you know, and everybody, you know, into the year, we're starting to get into the time where companies are starting to announce, price increase. And I'm like, dude, we do everything backwards to the industry, I think.
Right.
You know, because while everyone's doing that, we're going to be announcing price decreases because of us being able to go in and negotiate. Oh, and this has been freaking a year in the works to be able to offer much better pricing on our cigars across the line. The entire line of cigars. Yeah. So we're stoked on that because, you know, we just wanted to make great cigars for everyday guys. You know what I mean? It's not the days anymore where you got these old dudes sitting in some back room smoking their $25 cigar and you're lighting it with $100 bill. That's not what the cigar industry is. That cliche, that idea, that doesn't exist, or it doesn't exist anymore. You know, you got guys that get done working a job on construction all day, and they go hit the shop to freaking just chill out and get their head right and rest and enjoy a good cigar. That's what our industry is. You know, to have that camaraderie and sit down with your friends and talk about something or watch a game, have a beer, have a cigar, and just chill before you go home to mama and the screaming babies, or, you know, whatever. So we wanted to make, you know, cigars that people could enjoy every single day instead of just the occasion cigar. Like, hey, you know what? I don't have the resources to smoke Ezra Zion Eminence every day. So, you know, on Friday night, I'm going to splurge and I'm going to, you know, spring, $13 to buy this thing. That's great that you can do that and that exists, but we wanted to be where it's much more affordable and achievable. So we've been working on it for a long time. I won't give all the details here, but I mean, those announcements and stuff like that, you'll start seeing much better pricing. And seriously, that's such a big deal to us, because yes, we do want to make great cigars, but the other part of it, like you were saying, it's the selling part, it's the business part, the shelf space part, and all that, and price point, and making it something that's a freaking great cigar for a really good price that these guys can enjoy without having to freaking go out and sacrifice their kids' college funds to get.
Well,
right
now I'm
all right.
Gonna end it here. My wife is probably hollering. I have to go pick her up from work from here, so that's why I was like, oh, we're running a little over.
Yeah, he's got a drive coming all the way from Germany or wherever, Eastern Bloc country he's at.
But no, I wanted to ask you guys: is there anything else that we haven't gone over that you'd like to touch base on before we get off of here?
No, just remind y'all, Stogie411, get on their website, join CRA. If we're not in your local tobacconist, we would so appreciate the opportunity to be introduced to your local tobacconist. And if your local tobacconist has maybe heard a little something about the price points with Ezra Zion and wasn't really excited about it, you can also tell them about this encouraging news that's going to be coming out there that might grant us a little bit of shelf space.
Right.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for the Easy 411.
Yeah. Bam.
Badass.
And I would just say, same thing we tell retailers that we do for the first time. It's like, dude, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and try to do some, super verbal judo on you and sales pitch and whatever. Dude, just smoke the cigar. If you haven't smoked an Ezra, go smoke an Ezra. Sit down, enjoy it, and see what all the fuss is about, because I guarantee you, you're going to dig it, and we just let the cigar do the talking. That's what it is.
Right.
I agree. Right. Well, guys, thanks a lot. It's always fun having you guys on. Really is. Always a good time. Thanks for the smokes. I mean, it's legit. That's all I'm going to say. It's legit. Right. Go smoke it. If you don't smoke it, there's something fucking seriously wrong with you. That's all I'm going to say. Go smoke it. It's legit. But guys, thanks a lot, man. Really, nothing but success. Hope you have great holidays. We won't talk to you again until probably next year. Again, anytime you want. We always open the door for you. So anytime you guys want, we appreciate you taking the time out.
We'll see if we can combine that along with the cigar release. We'll see what we can do with that.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, listen, we won't kill you off because we've killed you off several shows. We won't kill you off this show. Mike does have to run, but thanks again for taking the time out, and keep doing what you're doing.
Cool.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for having us.
All right, guys. We'll talk soon.
Take care.
All righty. Well, we're all messed up here on the screen, aren't we? Wow. Yeah, we're just all screwed up on the screen. It'll catch up here whenever they go away. It's going to look a little weird. They can't see you, Mike, but that might be a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing. Yeah, we ran late, Mike. Tell your wife I apologize. It's just, we could have kept talking to these guys for, I bet you, another hour. Seriously. I mean, we're just having a good time always. Thanks to everybody in the chat room. John G., I'm going to send you a text message about me coming to Florida the week after next. I'm trying to work out the details with my wife. It's tough, but I'm going to see to meet up with you guys. Thanks to everybody in the chat room. Thanks to my buddy, as always, for doing what you do. And we'll see everybody. We're going to be on a hiatus for a while because of the holiday, and I'm going on vacation. So we'll be back, I think, December 15th or something, I think. Something like that. We
will have a promo up this time. I'm sorry about not having it up. I typed it. I did it, and it's not there. I screwed up.
Yeah, we'll have it. But thanks to everybody, and let's get the hell out of here so you can go.
See you.
Thanks again, guys. Bye.